Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 19, Text 16. Bharate asmin varshe sarchik chailah Santi bhavo malayo Mangala prashto mainakas Trikuta rishabha Utaka Polaka Sahyo Devagiri Drishyamukha Sri Shailo Venkato Mahendro Bharidharo Vindhya Suktiman Rishabhiri Pariyatro Dronas Chitrakuto Govardhano Raivataka Khakubho Nilo Gokamukha Indrakila Kamagiri Iti Chanye Cha Sata Sahasra Shailastesham Nitamba Prabhava Nadha Nadyascha Santi Ashankyataha Bharate, in the land of Bharata-varsha, Api, also Asmin, in this Varshe, tract of land, Sarit, rivers, Sailaha, mountains, Santi, there are, Bhavaha, many, Malayaha, Malaya, Mangala Prashtaha, Mangala Prashta, Mainakaha, Mainaka, Trikuta, Trikuta, Rishabha, Rishabha, Kutakaha, Kutaka, Kolakaha, Kolaka, Sahaya, Sahaya, Devagiri, Devagiri, Rishyamukha, Rishyamukha, Sri Shaila, Sri Shaila, Venkata, Venkata, Mahendra, Mahendra, Varidhara, Varidhara, Vindhya, Vindhya, Suktiman, Suktiman. Actually, everything is the same. Rikshagiri, Rikshagiri, Pariyatraha, Ariyatra, Dronaha, Drona, Chitrakuta, Chitrakuta, Govardhana, Govardhana, Raivataka, Raivataka, Kakubaha, Kakubaha, Nilaha, Nila, Gokamukha, Gokamukha, Indrakila, Indrakila, Kamagiri, Kamagiri, Iti, thus, Cha, and Anye, others, Cha, also, Sata Sahasraha, many hundreds and thousands, Sailaha, mountains, Tesham, of them, Nitamba Prabhavaha, born of slopes, Nadaha, big rivers, Nadhya, small rivers, Cha, and Santi, they are Asankyataha, innumerable. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. King, in the tract of land known as Bharata-varsha, as in Ila Bharata-varsha, there are many mountains and rivers. Some of the mountains are known as Malaya, Mangala, Prashta, Mainaka, Trikuta, Rishabhakuta, Polaka, Sahaya, Devagiri, Rishamukha, Sri Shaila, Venkata, Mahendra, Varidhara, Vindhya, Shuktiman, Rishagiri, Rikshagiri, Pariyatra, Drona, Chitrakuta, Govardhana, Raivataka, Kakubha, Nila, Bokamukha, Indrakila, and Kamagiri. Besides these, there are many other hills with many large and small rivers flowing from their slopes. Do you need to repeat now? Okay, next verse. Two of the rivers, the Brahmaputra and the Sona, are called Nadas or main rivers. These are great rivers that are very prominent. Chandravasha, Tamraparni, Avatoda, Kritamala, Vaiha, Vaiha, Vaihayasi, Kaveri, Veni, Payasvini, Sar, Sarkata, Sakaravarta, Tungabhadra, Krishnavenya, Bhimarati, Godhavari, Nirvindya, Payosini, Tapi, Reva, Surasa, Narmada, Charmavati, Mahanadi, Vedaspriti, Rishikulya, Trishama, Kaushiki, Mandakini, Yamuna, Saraswati, Drishadvati, Gomati, Sarayu, Rodaswati, Saptavati, Sushoma, Satadru, Chandrabhaga, Marudvardha, Vitasta, Akini, and Vishva. The inhabitants of Bharata-varsha are purified because they always remember these rivers. Sometimes they chant the names of these rivers as mantras, and sometimes they go directly to the rivers to touch them and bathe in them. Thus, the inhabitants of Bharata-varsha become purified. All these rivers are transcendental, therefore, one can be purified by remembering them, touching them, or bathing in them. This practice is still going on. The people who take birth in this tract of land are divided according to the qualities of material nature, the modes of goodness, sattvagun, passion, rajagun, and ignorance, tamagun. Some of them are born as exalted personalities, some are ordinary human beings, and some are extremely abominable. For in Bharata-varsha, one takes birth exactly according to one's past karma. In one's position, if one's position is ascertained by the bona fide spiritual master, and one is properly trained to engage in the service of Lord Vishnu, according to the four social divisions, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra, and four spiritual divisions, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas, one's life becomes perfect. Purport. For further information, one should refer to Bhagavad Gita 1418 and 1842 to 45. Srila Ramanujacharya writes in his book Vedartha Sangraha, so there is no translation for this verse. In Vishnu Purana 839, the great sage Parashara Muni has recommended Varnāśrama Acharavata Purushena Paraptaman Vishnu Raratite Kanta Nanyat Tat Dosha Karanam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, is worshipped by proper execution of prescribed duties in the system of Varna and Ashram. There is no other way to satisfy the Lord. In the land of Bharata-varsha, the institution of Varnashrama dharma may be easily adopted. At the present moment, certain demonic sections of the population of Bharata-varsha are disregarding the system of Varnashrama dharma because there is no institution to teach people how to become Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras, or Brahmacharis, Grihasthas, Vanaprasthas, and Sannyasis. These demons want a classless society. This is resulting in chaotic conditions. In the name of secular government, unqualified people are taking the supreme governmental post. No one is being trained to act according to the principles of Varnashrama dharma. And thus, people are becoming increasingly degraded and are heading in the direction of animal life. The real aim of life is liberation. But unfortunately, the opportunity for liberation is being denied to people in general. Therefore, their human lives are being spoiled. The Krishna conscious movement, however, is being propagated all over the world to re-establish Varnashrama dharma system and thus save the human society from gliding down to hellish life. ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा गदामायं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं Vandeham Sri Guru Shri Yuta Sri Guru Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagaragnatanvitam Dam Sajivam Advaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padhan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakamitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Kanta Namostute Taptakanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Mancha Kalpatrapiyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Bhavinebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sanyavadhi Pashtadite Satarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So thank you very much for attending the Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we are looking at Canto 5, chapter 19, text 19. So this is the chapter, the prayers, Jai Shri Shri Radha Madan. The descriptions of Jambudvipa, right? Prayers of demigods, glorifying the inhabitants of Jambudvipa. So we are looking the fifth canto. Okay. So yeah, so now this chapter is entirely about Jambudvipa, where Bharata-varsha is found. So the entire plane where we are in, this Bhurloka, there are 9 parts, divided into 9 parts by Maharaj Priyavrata, who gave to his 7 islands. Yeah. But sorry, Bharata-varsha, we are in one of the 9 parts of Jambudvip, correct? So in Jambudvip, there are 9 different sections. One of the sections we are in is the Varsha of Bharata, called Bharata-varsha. So there are 7 different islands, 7 different separate dvipas, which are separated by different oceans, right? So we are in Bharata-varsha. So this chapter is speaking about the Bharata-varsha, and the Lord of Bharata-varsha is the Nara Rishi, right? So that's why when Mataji was asking the question that time, Malika Mataji, why we worship, why Nara is given a lot of importance, because he is the master of this Bharata-varsha. And the person who worships them, because in each of the different dvipas, like example, Ramyaka Varsha, where what is happening there, Mahalakshmi is worshipping Kamadev. Then Hari Varsha is there, then there's another Varsha, what is that, Rama is there. So in one of the Varsha where Hanuman is worshipping Lord Ram, Kim Purusha Varsha, yes, correct. So like that, every place has a main deity, and the prominent devotee is spoken of, and they are offering prayers. When Prahlad Maharaj is mentioned, how he's worshipping Narsimhadev in one of the Dvipas also. So here in this verse today, we are going to see. So before these 2 verses, we were given a lot of names of the various rivers that are flowing in Bharata-varsha. Many of the rivers we also know, very auspicious, and they are also names of the mountains. Like for example, we call Yamuna, the Yamuna river, one of the this is the most auspicious river because Lord Krishna did his pastimes there. So Yamuna is also known as the Kalindi, right? So there's a mountain called she's called Kalinda Tanaya. right? So the mountain Kalindi is also there. So from that mountain flows the Yamuna. So all these mountains and rivers are very closely connected because they're flowing from the mountains. Of course, the original is not coming from the mountains only, like Ganga. It's coming from the lotus feet of the Lord, all the way down, right? So because they have connected with the Lord, they come in touch with the Lord. They are very auspicious, and by taking bath in those rivers, you will be purified of all your sins. So now here in this verse, it says that people who take birth in this tract of land are divided according to the qualities of material nature, modes of goodness, passion, ignorance. So we know that in Bharata-varsha is all mostly inhabited by the human beings, right? So we are all either in mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance. Some are born as exalted personalities. So those who are in mode of goodness, they are the exalted personalities. Some are ordinary beings. Usually the persons who are in mode of passions, who is always, running to work day and night. The Bhagavatam, it says that if you go to the verse, Nidraya hriyate naktam vyavayana chavaya divya charte haya rajan kutumba bharanena va. Lifetime of such envious householders is passed at night either in sleeping or in sex indulgence, and in daytime either making money or maintaining family members. So those who are in the passion, they always engage in this kind of activities. Working hard to make money and nighttime engage in sex life. So this is spoken by Sri Sukadeva Goswami. So then there are people also in ignorance who are completely mad, mad after sense gratification. I mean, they're completely in delusion, right? So if I'm not wrong, what this was. There's one was about the materialists, Bharata, talking about materialists and how they are. Let me take out that verse. Bharat Maharaj talking about materialists. Yeah, sorry. You're right. Yeah. Yeah, 5:16, you can see this verse. Lokas swayam shreyasti nasta drishti yoratan samheta nikama kamaha anyonya vaira sukalesha hetur ananta dukkam chana veda mudaha. So what happens to these people in mode of passion and ignorance, especially ignorance? Due to ignorance, the materialistic person does not know anything about his real self-interest. So they do not know who they are. What is the purpose of their life? What they're doing here? Because they're covered by this mode of ignorance and passion. So they do not know who they are. They do not know what is the real self-interest. They do not know what is the auspicious path in life. So let me ask a question. We know that Prabhupada quoted many verses throughout his life, right? Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. So there was a statistics done. Do you know which is the most quoted verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada? Yes. Nate vidu swa artha gatim hi Vishnu durasaya hi bhairaktamanina andayatandir upaniyamanas tepishu tantra urudhami bada. So that verse says, this is spoken by Prahlad Maharaj, says people do not know what is the real self-interest. The real self-interest is swa artha gatim hi Vishnu. So why if you analyze why Prabhupada kept quoting this? Because he is lamenting seeing the suffering of the materialist like us. You see this verse, it says that the materialist doesn't know his real self-interest, but the spiritualists, they know. A person like Prabhupada has so much of compassion and mercy. he kept quoting this word. There's a reason behind that. Because he wants you to understand what is the real self-interest of your life. That is Vishnu. Right? Imagine he has to keep bringing it up. That means he's trying to remind us. So now let's carry on. So we do not know what is the self-interest. We do not know what is the auspicious path in life. He's simply bound by material enjoyment. So we are trying our best to enjoy the senses, the material senses and the sense object. And by lusty desires, and all his plans are made for this purpose. So this is the plan of the materialist. When everybody is making plans, right? The essence of, for example, somebody wants to go to school and study, right? Let's say you finish your college, you want to go to university, and then you start inquiring which university I should go to. So somebody recommends, why don't you go to IIT? Somebody says, why don't you go to NUS? So then you start analyzing, I want to go to such and such university. But what is the real essence of that plan? What is the real essence of that inquiry of which university I should go to? If you trace down deeply, the real inquiry is, if I go to this university IIT, I will get this certificate, which will give me this job, which will give this much of salary. And if I have this much of salary, I will be happy. So all the plans we make in life, the essence behind every plan that we endeavor to do is to search for happiness. This is the two things we want to do: Atyantika Dukkha Nirviti, Paramananda Prapti. We want to get away from Atyantika Dukkha Nirviti. We want to destroy miseries and we want to have happiness. This is the plan of every human being, right? Even the spiritualists also. We want to have real happiness, but happiness which is Krishna consciousness, which is not born from the touch of the senses. So everyone is planning for this purpose, making lusty plans, desires to enjoy the material world. And because of this unlimited desires that are flowing like the river, our desires are going on and on and on. For example, this life, I may get nice job, nice salary, nice beautiful look, but my husband may be anyhow. Husband may not be good looking, husband may not be intelligent, doesn't provide. You can take it the other way around also. Husband to wife, wife to husband. Then I will desire, my Lord, please give me a good husband next life. Then like that, next life you get good husband, then after that you are not intelligent, you cannot even pass your exam. Right? So like that, unlimited desires are coming. Krishna is fulfilling the desire, and then in that life itself, you are desiring a new one, a new desire, a newer desire. And like that, the mind is going on and on, making plans after plans after plans, never satisfied, right? So this is what happens when we try to enjoy temporary pleasure. For example, there was recently I was shared this analogy by Rasarani. So she said she heard her mother shared with her, some ISKCON devotee in Bengal shared this very nice analogy. So what happened was, he said there is a mental hospital. Now in this mental hospital, they have a test to see who is mental and who is not mental. Who is going to be released? They will decide based on the test who can go out and who will keep staying here. So what is the test? The test is, they will on the tap, the water is running. Then they'll give you a filter. What do you call that? The sieve. What is the proper word for that? The filter, where you're filtering the drink. When you're filtering. I think you understand. The thing that you use, like when we make hot drink, then we are filtering. Strainer. Yes. So even the Abhishek time, we are doing Abhishek for the Lord. We are putting shaligram and then we are pouring the milk, and all the flowers are being strained on the strainer. Only the milk falls into the tray. Yeah. So this strainer. So they give you a strainer in the hospital. They on the tap of water and they say, okay, now I want you to catch water for me in the strainer. Right? So the guy who's not crazy, he'll go and try. He cannot catch the water because the water will always go through the strainer. It has so many holes. He'll say, no, I can't do it. He said, okay, you're no more crazy, go out. The guy who's keep trying to get the water in the strainer, he keeps trying, you continue staying. So the analogy is the water represents sense enjoyment, sense gratification. Right? So imagine. So we are trying to get sense enjoyment by using the strainer to try to catch this. We think that once I catch this, I'll be happy. But it cannot be caught. It's going, it's unlimitedly flowing. Lusty desires are unlimitedly flowing through this strainer. Right? So whoever is continuously trying their best to enjoy the senses, to get happiness. So if you catch the water nicely, that means you have happiness. Example. Now you can't even catch the water. Correct? If you can't catch it and you keep trying to catch it, what will happen? That means you're mad. You're crazy. So the exact position of our life here in this material world, we are all crazy because we are trying to get happiness through sense enjoyment. It's like you're trying to get water, you're trying to catch water through a strainer. You need to get a proper container that can catch the water, right? So all of us are insane. Now there's a saying that if you fool me once, shame on you. If you fool me twice, shame on me. And guess what? We are not fooled once, we are not fooled twice, we are fooled millions of times. Maya is scamming us again and again and again. Actually, the same thing only. It's like an old wine in a new bottle, different packaging. But we are falling for that same thing. If I do this, I'll be happy. And guess what? Our parents are telling us to do the same thing because they went through the life of going to school, getting education, working hard day and night, get children, and then they tell you, do the same thing. You'll be happy. But nobody's happy. You know, there's another story I saw on the internet. It's called the 2 cents, a circus. No? So there's a circus where you pay money to go in. Okay. So everybody is queuing up, long queue to go inside the circus. Right? But this circus is very special. Only one person at a time can go. Understand? So you pay the money, you go in the circus, and you come out of the circus. So when I'm going in, the exit is here. I can see whoever is exiting. When I'm in the queue, I can see all my friends are going in and exiting also. So there's a long queue, and everybody paid some money. The first guy paid the money, he went to the circus. And you're saying, where's the circus? Nothing is there. You know what is there? 2 wrestlers are standing there. And they say, where's the circus? And they say, you are the circus. And they started beating him. They bashed him up. And then he came out of the circus. He was all beaten up. And then the second guy says, how was it? Was it nice? Yeah, very nice. Because why? He feels embarrassed to say that he paid money and he got cheated. So everybody is getting cheated by Maya, but then they will tell you to do the same thing because they feel embarrassed. One thing they're embarrassed, next another thing is they do not know there's something higher than this. So everyone is queuing up and coming out. Very nice, nice beating. And they never say beating. Very nice, you go. I suffered already, you go and suffer now. So this is the situation in material world, right? So we'll continue the verse. For temporary sense gratification, such a person creates a society of envy. We're seeing the earlier verse, right? The householder, envious, is always thinking how to be better than the people around him, how to praise, how to, his whole life is filled with envy. So what happiness you will get? Just like Duryodhana, was he happy? 13 years, right? Vanavas. He had all the time to be happy. He's not happy. He had to come all the way to the jungle, the forest where Pandavas are saying, build a tent and show, you see how nicely I'm enjoying myself. Why he had to do that? But Pandavas are not even bothered about his enjoyment in the tent. They were having, bhakti. They have that direct experience of the Lord, Supreme Lord. They are getting enjoyment, even greater than Brahmananda. Right? Krishna was their personal friend. Right? So he was not happy at all, even though he was, he was in the kingdom, he was having all the wealth around him. But inside, he is very depressed because he is living a very envious life. right? So such a person creates a society of envy, and due to this mentality, he plunges into the ocean of suffering. So we are all plunged into this ocean of samsara. Cannot come out of this. संसारंबसि संवृत भ्रम भरे गंभीरतापत्रये गाहेना विगृहीतम् उग्रगतिना क्रोशन्तम् अन्तर्भयात् दीप्रेनाद्य सुदर्शनेन विबुधा क्लान्ति चित्तकारिणा चिन्तं सन्ततिरुत्तम उत्तरहरे मच्चित्तदन्तीश्वरम्. This is verse in Padyavali. I think maybe verse 60 if I'm not wrong. So it's a verse, very beautiful verse about our material life. What is happening? Samsaram basi sambrita brahmabare gambira tapatre. We are deep. Gambira means very deep. Deeply stuck in this samsara, this ocean of material misery, which are accompanied by our kama, krodha, lobha, mada, matsarya, our family attachments, wife, children, husband. All these things are bringing us deeply stuck into this samsaram basi sambrita brahmabare. And I'm very much in illusion, trying to find happiness in this ocean, which is all salt. I'm very thirsty. I have ocean all around me, and I'm trying to drink that water, and it's all salty. I cannot enjoy that water. What pleasure we are trying to achieve by drinking that salt ocean water? Grahena bigrihitam ukra gatinam kroshantam antarbhayat. What is this grahena bigrihitam? This crocodile which represents this material misery, is very strongly biting, and I'm stuck like Gajendra. This is actually a verse for Gajendra. This verse was composed in inspiration of Gajendra. Ukra gatina, very fierce. This crocodile is so fierce. Kroshantam antarbhayat. I am crying very deeply, weeping very loudly. Please, can someone save me? I'm in the ocean. Who can save me in the middle of the ocean? Nobody can save. Right? But if we have knowledge, if we understand the Supreme Lord, we are through the Guru, we understand who is the Lord. Grahena bigrihitam ukargatina kroshantam antarbhayat. Dipre natya sudarshanena vibudha klanti chitakarina. We pray, we can play. Oh Lord, please, the wielder of the Sudarshan Chakra, please sever this crocodile of my miseries. This crocodile of my miseries is coming from my mind. So destroy this deep attachment that are forming in my mind with this lust, anger, grief, all my unlimited desires. The mind is the greatest problem. All right? We have seen the Bhagavad Gita in chapter 6. Krishna is saying, Chanchala Manai Krishna, Pramati Balavadritam. Right? The mind is the greatest of all enemies. Of course, very strong, because it's attached to these material miseries. So he said, so the prayer says, Chintam Santati Ruttam Uttarahare Machitta Dantishwaram. Please save me. Give me this mercy. Destroy this illusion that I'm suffering, my Lord. Just like how Gajendra prayed to the Lord to save him from material misery. Like that, we can pray to the Lord. Please, your Sudarshan Chakra is your holding. Please help me, save me from these miseries. I want to come out of this. I want to be your eternal servant. Destroy this forgetfulness, this illusion that is covering my mind. Right? So such a foolish person doesn't even know about this. So this is another thing. He's suffering in the motion of material suffering, and he also doesn't know about his suffering. That is very, very sad. Somebody is suffering and he doesn't know that he feels there is happiness. Sometimes you may see some people, they are stuck in a very abusive relationship, and you tell them to come out of it. They say, no, I'm happy here. I'm happy suffering. So that is our situation in the material world, right? So the verse was talking about more of passion, ignorance. So let's go back to the sloka again, 5. So this is the situation of the people in the Bharata-varsha. So some of them are born exalted personalities. So these are, Prabhupada has given in the purport also 1418. So now let's continue. One takes birth according to one's past karma. This is another very important thing. Karma. Everyone in the human life is bounded by karma. If you go to this verse, what is that verse? Karmanubandhana in Bhagavad Gita. Sorry, it's 15.2 actually. So Bhagavad Gita 15.2. You can see here, Karmanubandhani Manushya Loke Guna Pravada Vishya Pravada. So you see this verse. The branches of these three extended downward and upward, nourished by the Jayashpikta. So this is the tree of the material world, right? It is upside down tree, and the branches of this tree extend downward and upward, nourished by the three modes of material nature. So the three modes of material nature are nourishing this tree. That's what we are all getting nourished by these three modes, right? The twigs are the object of the senses. The tree also has roots going down, and these are bound to the fruitive actions of human society. Karmanu bandha manushya loka. So all living beings in human life, we are bounded by karma. Okay, if you do good karma, you'll go to the heavenly planet. Udvam gachanti sattvasta, madhyati tishtanti rajasa. Right. So if you do bad karma, you'll go down. So, and sometimes we always think, oh, I'm suffering from bad karma. Actually, you should be happy. You know why? Because when you're suffering from karma, who is being benefited? Somebody suffering. Who benefits? Do I benefit from your suffering? You benefit because your bad karma is getting burnt. For example, in Mahabharata, there's a story, Shanti Parva, where Yudhishthira Maharaj is speaking to Bhishmadev. And Maharaj Yudhishthira is very remorseful for the death of everyone. How many billions? 640 million? 640 million to 1 billion. That's the amount of people who died. So he feels, I cannot be the king now. I killed so many people. I'm responsible. I should just go to the forest. The same situation Arjuna was in. Then Krishna, of course, told him to take guidance from Bhishmadev. And Bhishmadev says, when he told Bhishma, this is my fault, I killed everyone, he said, no, it's not your fault. Let me tell you a story. So what was the story? He said, there is a snake. One day, there was a snake. The snake bite a boy. It bit a boy. The boy was just 5 years old, you know, and the boy died. And the boy is actually a son of a Brahmana's Brahmana's son. So his mother saw his son dead. She was crying. The hunter saw that this snake killed the boy. He went after the snake. He caught it and he brought it back to the lady. And he said, this snake is the one who killed your son. Let me kill this snake. Let me teach him a lesson. Right? Then the mother was a Brahmana. So you understand she's very sober. Right? Brahmanas they understand that the change of body is there. There is karma working. Right? Dehinos minyata dehe kaumaram yavaram jara. Tata dehandra praptis dhiras tatra namuyate. She's very dhira. She knows that his time is finished. Because of karma, he's changing body now. So then she said, no need. If you kill him, if you kill the snake, you're going to get sin. Right? And even if you kill the snake, my son is not going to come alive. So never mind, leave it. And this is how a Brahmana should be. Very liberal. They have an understanding of the Atma. The Atma never dies. They have understanding of this. So then the hunter was saying, no, you can talk like this, but I'm not Brahmana. I'm hunter. I must punish. I must teach people a lesson. If everybody is like that, then who will punish? Of course, it's not the hunter's duty. It's the king's duty. And of course, the king is not going to come and catch the snake, right? If there's a real proper crime done, the king's duty is to punish the criminal. That is correct. As a Kshatriya, duty in Varnashrama Dharma. Today we'll see the verse about Varnashrama, right? So now the mother said, no, don't kill. Then he caught the snake and he said, I'm going to kill you. And the snake started talking. The snake says, why you want to kill me? I didn't ask for these fangs. I didn't ask for this poison. I was created like this by God. I didn't come to kill him. Somehow he happened to be on my way. I just bite him. It's my nature is like this. What do you want me to do? It's not my fault. It's the fault of death. Death personified has come to take it's time for him to die. He's dying. So the hunter was saying, okay, where is death? And somehow death personified appeared now. And he said, why did you kill him? I said, my job is not, I only kill people because Time personified is asking me to come and take them. Their time is up, so not my fault. Time is up, I'm coming and doing my job. That's all. So don't ask me. I have another boss. So then he said, where is time? Time came. He said, why did you kill him? His time said, no, I didn't kill him. It's because of his karma. His time is up. I act based on his karma, his actions, his activities. Because of that, he is being killed. So I have nothing to do with this. Just like the judge, when he judge sentenced you to jail, you committed a crime. It's not the judge's fault. It's your fault. He's giving you the sentence according to what you have done. Just like another example, you have 10 acres land. I have a 10 acres land. You can nicely plant mango fruit. I can plant neem tree. After the tree grows, I regret planting the neem. But who planted it in the first place? I planted it. Everything is coming bitter, and somebody is getting all sweet, right? So based on the actions of what we have planted. So then, very interestingly, time personified said something very interesting. Time personified said two things. See, if you want to understand why he got killed, you have to understand two things. Number one, there is cause and effect. When you see something as an effect, you must know where is the cause, right? The cause is not very far away. For example, I have an effect of stomach problem. Right, my stomach is churning. I need to vomit or I have to go toilet, whatever. Who is the cause of that? Can I go and tell you you are the cause of it? I myself add something wrong. I am causing the effect. So when you analyze like that, the cause and effect is in the same person. For example, if I am sick, I need to take medicine now. I cannot ask my neighbor to take the medicine and expect myself to be recovered. Is there anything like that? No, right? If I'm hungry, can I say you eat the food for me? I'll feel okay. No, the cause and effect is found in the same person only. So if the cause of death is there, that means the effect of death is there. That means the cause of that effect, the karma is there in that person. Number one. Second point, he says, who benefits from that boy dying? Do I benefit? Do I get anything good marks for killing this boy? Does that personified get any good marks? Does the snake get any benefit? The one who benefited from the death is the boy himself, right? Why do you think he benefited? Why do you think the boy benefited from his own death?
Got rid of his karma.
Yes, he got rid of his karma. So when we are suffering, who's benefiting? We are saying this person make me suffer and all. That is just the effect. The cause is you, and you are clearing your karma. You should be happy. So when good things happen in life, don't be happy because you're burning your good karma. And when bad things happen in life, don't be sad. You're burning a bad karma also. Okay? So then Bhishmadev tells to Yudhishthira, so don't worry. The cause of everyone's death is not you. They themselves are the cause of their own death. And very nicely, I mean, the best part is Krishna is there. So when they saw Krishna and died, they all were liberated. Right? Bandhanurupa phalabhajana matanoti karmani nityahati kintu cha bhakti bhajan govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. If you do Krishna consciousness, karmani nityahati kintu cha bhakti bhajan, all karma is destroyed. Only by bhakti. Kintu cha bhakti. There, jnana cannot destroy karma. Karma yoga cannot destroy karma. Astanga yoga cannot destroy. Bhakti alone has the power to destroy all this karma. What is the verse? 11, 14. The verse on bhakti destroying the karma.
11, 14,
19? Yeah. Yatagni. Yatagni su samvridarchi karoti edasme. Yeah, so this is the one. Karoti edasmi Bhasmasat Tatamad Vishaya Bhaktir Udhav Vaina Vayanamsi Krishnasa. My dear Uddhava, just as blazing fire turns firewood into ashes, similarly, devotion unto me completely burns to ashes sins committed by my devotees. All karma, sins, everything destroyed by bhakti alone. Huh? And especially Aituki, Apratihata, unconditional bhakti, that bhakti will destroy. So there is four kinds of karma, four kinds of sins that we acquire by doing karma. You know what are the four things? Bro, what is the verse? Aprarabdha phalam, which some purport will be there, right? 9 2 Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. So there's a verse in Padma Puran. He was also quoted by Sri Rupa Goswami in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1:123 or 22, I'm not sure. Aprarabdha phalam papam kutam bijam phalam mukam karmaneva praliyate Vishnu bhakti ratatmanaha. So there's four kinds of karma that happens. One is aprarabdha. Whatever we are going through now is called prarabdha. So aprarabdha means, for example, let me give you another example from the Vedanta Sutra. Vedanta Sutra gives three. Here there's four. Vedanta Sutra gives three: sanchita karma, prarabdha karma, kriyamana karma. So, for example, imagine a person who is an archer, right? Archer is shooting the bow. Archer also has a quiver behind, right? So, how many quivers in the quiver hub? There may be 20 arrows. That 20 arrows represents aprarabdha karma, the karmas that we have accumulated for the unlimited lives we have spent here. We do not know how let's, for example, let's say we have spent 1 trillion life here. That trillion lives, all the karma we have accumulated is called aprarabdha, which is the arrows in the quiver. That arrow which I take out to shoot, that's called the prarabdha karma. That karma which I'm experiencing now. For example, somebody is born beautiful, somebody is born ugly, tall, short, how much wealth you have, how your face looks like, which parents you're born to, how much intelligence you have. That is the prarabdha we are experiencing now. So from that aprarabdha, you take one portion to experience on this life. This is called prarabdha karma, right? So the arrow that you're going to shoot, that is the prarabdha karma. Yeah? And they shoot and you hit the target. And then now if you create new arrows, I'm creating new arrows, that is called kriyamana karma. The new arrows I'm creating can go inside the quiver, can go back to the aprarabdha, or it can be shot immediately. So sometimes we do something and we experience the karma immediately. We should be happy that happens also. We don't need to go to the aprarabdha. So, but here there's another four things. So Rupa Goswami is giving another example. Aprarabdha phalam papam kutam bijam phalam mukam. So aprarabdha, you imagine another example. Imagine a big mountain of grains, rice grains. So you have so many rice grains, right? Or rice or even wheat grains. This is the aprarabdha. Okay. From that aprarabdha, the mountain of rice, you take one handful. This is called the kuta. Kuta means the heap. From this heap, you take many seeds and you start planting. This is called bija. That bija which grows, that becomes prarabdha. So this is the four things that happens. But what happens? Karmeneva praliyate Vishnu bhakti ratatmanha. One who does bhakti, especially one who takes diksha and gets initiated, takes up the serious and seriously follows whatever the guru has given, his karma is destroyed in the initiation ceremony itself. So the example is it. So example is the heap, the big rice, let's say seeds. From there you take one heap, then you plant the bija, and then the prarabdha is the thing that grows. The heap is the kuta that you take one handful of the big mountain prarabdha. Yeah. So actually, I was doing a lot of research on this because recently I had a presentation for the Bhakti session, so I had to prepare all this. Yet to fructify, yeah. So it's just like when you plant the seed, it's yet to fructify. Phalan mukam, right? So bijam then phalam mukam. So then what happens? Vishnu Bhakti destroys all this. So what happens? It in the purport of the verse in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the karma is destroyed successively. So when you take to Bhakti, what happens is aprarabdha gets completely destroyed first. Then the kuta gets destroyed. Then the bija. The one thing that is left is prarabdha. Because if prarabdha is destroyed, then you cannot carry on your karma, right? How you will perform karma if prarabdha is finished? Your body is going to be there. Your body will be alive until the prarabdha is of good and bad is destroyed. From that kuta, the bija, whatever is going to be. So whatever you're experiencing in the prarabdha, once everything is experienced in this life, then you die. Then you experience the next batch. That's how it works. So bhakti will destroy. But it is said in the purport, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, for that verse, of this verse, he said that for a devotee, the aprarabdha remains, everything destroyed, but the good part of the prarabdha karma is there. So because why? Prarabdha karma is the maid servant to bhakti. Prarabdha karma cannot overcome bhakti. Then you may ask the question, then why sometimes we see devotees suffering then? It's because devotee is no more under control of karma. Karma is under the control of material nature, Maya. So all non-devotees are suffering karma by control of Maya. But devotee is under the control of Krishna's energy, right? His Swarup Shakti, Bhakti. Why the devotee suffers is because of aparat. No, you see the purport. Vishnu Chakri Thakur says devotee suffers due to aparat. Pure devotee suffers due to 1088.8. Krishna purposely wants him to show the bhakti. Vishnu Chakri Thakur, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. This verse is coming, that purport. He's giving commentary. So Vishnu Chakri Thakur says, for devotee, any suffering is due to aparat. So you must understand, very dangerous. Aparat is very dangerous. Because aparat will make us experience suffering. Yeah, Nama aparat, Seva aparat, Vaishnava aparat, that is the most difficult one, Vaishnava aparat. So all these aparats will again make us come, because prema cannot come without the clearance of all these aparat, right? So devotees has to be, but one thing you must understand. That's why when I myself experience, I study astrology. I've read charts of devotees. Something is not there, also can happen. Something bad is supposed to happen, but Krishna can even make it more bad. It depends on Krishna completely now. You see, because you have taken shelter of the Lord. So now we come to another point of karma, which is called Kriyamana karma. So what happens to Kriyamana karma? We already talked about this 4 karma, right? Because Kriyamana karma is the new karma you are committing right now. So what happens to the devotee's Kriyamana karma? Because what happens is Kriyamana karma can be added to the big pile again. So what happens to Kriyamana karma of the devotee is, you go to this verse in Bhagavad Gita. Tyaktva karma pala sangam nitya tripto nirashrayah karmani abhipravrittopi naiva kinchit karoti saha. Abandoning all attachment to the results of his activities, ever satisfied and independent, he performs no fruitive action, although engaged in all kinds of undertakings. A devotee does not have karma, kriyamana karma, affecting him, because whatever he's getting, he's offering the results to the Guru and Krishna. Of course, if you do not do that, if you do not offer the results, then again karma piles up. There's aparat now. So there's aparat and also that karma that piles up. So devotee should always think of how the results of the activities should be offered to the Lord. If you don't offer it to the Lord, then it will come and affect you again. So non-devotee, he goes through all these 4, aprarabdha, phalam, papam, kutam, and also this kriyamana karma, because he's offering nothing to the Lord. Right? So this is how the karma works. Of course, there's many more points which were spoken, but this is the basic points. Why the devotee is going through the suffering, because mainly it's aparats, I would say. Of course, when it comes to pure devotee, why pure devotee is suffering? Vishwanath Chakrita quoted this verse 1088, 8, right? Yasyaham anugrhanami harishe tadhanam shanai tato dhanam tyajati yasya swajana dukkha dukkitam. Personality Goddess says, if I especially favor someone, I gradually deprive him of his wealth. Then the relatives of such a friend, relatives and friends of such a poverty-stricken man abandon him. In this way, he suffers one distress after another. So again, distress. This especially for pure devotee, because the Lord wants to show how the pure devotee will never give him up. This is exactly what I was trying to convey in my Vyasa Puja offering. Because Prabhupada was tested, right? Prabhupada says, if Krishna takes away, he can take away with 10 hands. If Krishna gives, he can give with 10 hands. So if you look at Prabhupada's life, he was tested in everything, right? What is that? What is that verse? Heat and cold, 214, Bhagavad Gita. Matras Varshastu Kaunteya Sitosna Sukha Dukkada Ahama Payino Nityas Tam Titikshvasta Bharata. So Prabhupada was tested in heat and cold also. How? It's very hot in India, right? Vrindavan is very hot. In that same heat, he was sitting down, he was translating his books. When he went to America, it was super cold. Still, he was not waking up early, cold shower, doing his translation. Never got affected. Krishna tested Prabhupada by giving him so much of wealth. He was so rich, right? He was a chemist, right? Manager of the chemical factory, and he was so intelligent, so rich, so much famous. Everybody wanted him, and somehow he had a problem with his Bose laboratories. And then he left. He started his own business. There he lost everything. So Krishna tested him. If I take everything away from you, will you still chant my name, or will you blame me? Prabhupada was never unfavorable at any point of time. Never unfavorable to Prabhupada, to Krishna. If something Krishna takes away, we become unfavorable. Oh, Krishna, I did so many rounds. Look at how many rounds I've done. How come you are doing this to me? Right? So Prabhupada was never shaken. In fact, it was so difficult that he got hit by the bull. He was distributing the books, hit by the bull. He got 2 heart attacks also in the ocean. How much difficulties he went through. Never one time he said, Krishna, why are you making me suffer? He only says, my Lord, you let me be an instrument in your hands. Let me dance. Let me dance. As how you want me to dance, I will dance that way. I am a complete puppet in your hands. Then Krishna tested him by giving everything to him. Everything was taken. Everything was given also. Such a rich, in 12 years, how much money, they were making. Maybe in one day they can even make $1 million. That much money they made in book distribution. Did Prabhupada take the money and enjoy for himself? No. He was using that money for the service of the Lord. He never got distracted by the richness that Krishna gave him. If Krishna suddenly give us money now, there's one devotee like that in Australia. He got an insurance claim of $700,000. And then he came and told to Chaitanya and Karunamai, okay, I think I tried Krishna consciousness. Now I have this money, I want to enjoy. Oh, so you see the difference between a pure devotee and a neophyte? Right? And Prabhupada was not even hurt by criticism or praise. People were praising him like anything. What you have achieved, nobody have achieved. You achieved something Chaitanya, no Acharya in the world has achieved, which is true. No Acharya has achieved what Prabhupada has achieved. And what he will do? That praise he always says, give it to my Guru Maharaj. My Guru Maharaj, I fulfill his order, that's why. When he got criticized, he was not affected also. For example, in Australia, when Prabhupada was giving an interview, so 2 people came and interviewed him. They wrote 2 different articles. One newspaper, another newspaper. One article wrote very nicely about Prabhupada. Another article wrote very badly about Prabhupada. And you know what Prabhupada said? He said, I like this one more. He said, why Prabhupada? He's criticizing you. He said, because he mentioned the word Krishna at least 7 times. This other guy never mentioned the word Krishna. So why should I? So that's why I like this one. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He is being insulted. He wants that the word Krishna is there. People read the paper and they will chant Krishna. That is a pure devotee. So when you say Yashaham Anugranami, this verse, the pure devotee doesn't experience karma, but the Lord will test him to show us how a pure devotee will react in that situation. You understand? That is the pure devotee. Krishna will put them into test. And also, of course, Krishna also wants to increase their bhakti rasa, their experience. You know, for example, if you see this verse in the Bhagavatam, Prapancham nishprapanchobi vidhambasi bhutale prapanno janatananda sandoham parihitam prabhu. My dear master, although you have nothing to do with material existence, you come to this earth and imitate material life just to expand the varieties of ecstatic enjoyment with your surrendered devotee. The Lord, actually, He's not interested much in killing the demons. Demons can be killed like that, no problem. But He comes because He wants to expand the varieties. There's a variety of ecstatic enjoyment. So this is called Sthayi Bhav, right? Sthayi Bhav means the 5 relationship we have with the Lord. Of course, Vaishnavas, we don't have devotees, we don't have Santaras. But we want to have the Lord, Dasyaras, Sakyaras, Vatsalya, Madhurya. This is the Sthayi Bhav. Sthayi Bhav is like the ocean. In that Sthayi Bhav, there are Sanchari Bhav. There are many waves that are going up and down. So these are various emotions that nourish the ocean of the Bhakti Rasa Amrita Sindhu. So when Arjuna, his Sthayi Bhav is, he's a friend of Krishna. But when he was put into distress, the Sanchari Bhav comes. That temporarily he experienced some distress, but that distress is an experience with Krishna. Krishna puts him into distress and then he takes more shelter of Krishna now. You understand? When Draupadi was in distress, what he did? Hey Govinda, Rakshamam, Sharanagatam. Huh? You see? Govinda Pundari Kaksha Rakshamam Sharanagatam. Right? So that is like a bhav. So devotees are not suffering material karma at all. Karma doesn't touch them. No karma at all. Pure devotees. Whatever they experience is all in the realm of this expanded enjoyment of this Sanchari Bhav. Okay. So this is how we just finished the part about the karma. So now we go back to the verse. Now we come to the point of Varnashrama because it's also spoken here. So it is said here that in Bharata-varsha, one takes birth according to one's past karma. If one's position is ascertained by the bona fide spiritual master and properly trained to engage in the service of Lord Vishnu, according to the 4 social orders division, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, and 4 spiritual division, Brahmana, Kshatriya. So this is how the Lord actually wanted to manage the material world. So everybody has their own dharma and their duties. So if you go to this verse, let's see this verse first in Bhagavad Gita. So actually, 4:13, where it says, Chaturvidha bhajante mam, jana sakirtino arjuna. Oh, no, sorry, not that one. Chaturvarya maya system guna karma vibhagasaha. Tasya kartaram apimam vidhi akartaram avyayam. So Lord says, Krishna says, according to 3 modes of nature, so because all of us are trapped in these 3 modes of nature, we all have different karmas. So what he did to let you come out of this quickly, you know, so he created this the 3 modes of nature, and then the work associated with them, the 4 divisions of human society, are created by me. Chaturvarya maya shristam guna karma vibhagasa. And although I am the creator of the system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable. So the Lord created the system so that we can quickly do whatever karma we are supposed to do, right? And come to the real karma, the real dharma, which is our eternal dharma. Go to this verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. Ata bhumbir dvijasthesta. Varnāśrama vibhagasaha swanasthitasya dharmasya samsthitim haritoshanam. O best among twice born, it is therefore concluded the highest perfection one can achieve by discharging the duties prescribed for one's own occupation according to caste, division, and orders of life is to please the Supreme personality of Godhead. So what you're supposed to do is, you are supposed to do your duties, either your Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, based on your karma, your guna and karma, because everyone is born in these three modes of nature with so much of karma, right? Then you are supposed to do it for the pleasure of the Lord. And if you don't do it, what happens? So what happens if you don't do it is, Yayesham Purusham Shakshad Atma Prabhamam Ishwaram Nabajanti Avajananti Sthanat Brishta Patantyadaha. Any members of the four Varnas in ashram who fail to worship the personality Godhead, the source of their own creation, who intentionally disrespect him, will fall down from their position into hellish state of life. So it's not only important to be a Brahmana, it's not only important to be a Kshatriya, not only important to be Vaishya or Sudra. You have to do your duty, whatever you are natural tendency, but you have to worship the Lord. You have to perform yajna. Yajna artha karmana. Yajna artha karmana lokoyam karma bandhana. Yajna artha karmana anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. You have to offer the result. That's not we're saying kriyamana karma, right? That karma, the results of your Brahmana duty has to be offered to the Lord. The result of your Kshatriya duty has to be offered to the Lord. The Lord is pleased, and then He will destroy the karma for you. If you do not do that and just say, I'm Brahmin, but I don't know who is Krishna, then you'll fall down. You see? So when many people, they have this misconception, they say that Krishna wants us. Why Krishna told Arjuna? Many Indians tell this. You know what they say? You know, right? They will say, what Krishna told Arjuna to do, Arjuna wanted to go and fight, want to fight. Arjuna wanted to go to the forest. Krishna says, no, you must do your duty, you must fight. So is that the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita? You must work. So after reading Bhagavad Gita, their conclusion is, Krishna wants us to work. That's all. Whatever it is. Arjuna was not sent to the forest by Krishna. Why you are sitting down, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna? Go and work. This is the majority conclusion of the Indians. So that means it's what happens is, they think Krishna is a warmonger. Krishna is a HR recruiter. He wants Arjuna to work. A recruiting officer is recruiting a Kshatriya. Finish. Job finish. Is this true? That is not true. That is not the goal of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is not a warmonger. People say Krishna started the war. Krishna wants people to die. People want Arjuna to kill. It's not the goal of Bhagavad Gita. The goal of Bhagavad Gita. So let me explain to you. This is actually in Krishna Sandarbha actually. Jiva Goswami is analyzing the meaning of Bhagavad Gita. So there are four things. There are 6 things. How do you analyze? So Jiva Goswami in Paramatma Sandarbha, he says there are 6 ways to analyze the message. Now, when you analyze with your Pratyaksha Praman, with your eyes, with your senses, you will say Krishna wants everyone to fight. Krishna wants him to be just Kshatriya. That's all. Right? Because you're analyzing with your material senses. But if you analyze with the Shastra Praman, then the analysis change. So actually, if you go to the verse, I can't take out the verse, but I have saved the verse. In Paramatma Sandarbha, he is giving this verse, Upakrama, Upasamhara, Abhyasa Purvatapalam, Arthavadho Papati, Chalingam, Tatparya Nirnaya. Jiva Goswami gives 6 criteria how to analyze something using. He's taking from Purva Mimamsa actually. Of course, the analysis is already done by Guru. For us, very easy. Just take the Guru's analysis. But this is how to do step-by-step analysis. How to do is, number 1, Upakrama. Upakrama means you must understand what is being spoken first. Like now, Bhagavad Gita. What is the first thing spoken? What is the verse? 2:9, is it? Krishna's first speaking. 2:11. So Jiva Goswami is taking 2:11 only. Asochan anvasochastvam pratyavadam cha bhasati. Kadasamagadasam cha nanu sochanti pandita. So this is the first instruction. When we say speaking, Krishna's first instruction to Arjuna. So Upakrama. Upakrama means, so let's go through the 6 steps. You first have to understand what is first spoken by the speaker of the book. If you want to analyze any book, what is the first thing said? Upasamhara. Upasamhara means what is the last thing said. Okay. Then abhyasa. What is being repeated over and over again? Apurvata palam. What is something extraordinary spoken? What is something what is the extraordinary claim that is made about that subject? Yeah. Something which is fresh. Okay. Then arthavada. What is the results that is to be attained? So after speaking all this, what results you attain? And upapatti means what is ascertained through logical analysis. So what you can logically analyze from all these things spoken. So now one logical analysis people are making through their mind and senses is Krishna wanted to fight, wanted to not fight. That's the conclusion. Everyone go to work, finish, close Bhagavad Gita. Is that the logical analysis? So if you take these 6 things, then the analysis will come. So Jiva Goswami says, you go to Bhagavad Gita 2.11, this is the first thing spoken by Krishna. So we will just speak about these 2 things, Upakrama, Upasamhara. In Upakrama, the first thing that is saying is, while speaking, or the blessed Lord said, while speaking learned verses, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise never lament. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor the dead. So Krishna is saying 2 things here. Don't lament. Why are you lamenting? Why are you feeling morose? Correct? First thing he's saying. He says this is not worthy. That means we can understand he is going to give instructions now how not to lament. So we know that the aim already, the direction is going to, you are lamenting, you must get the solution how not to lament. Of course, the answer is not given here. He goes through the entire Bhagavad Gita, and then of course we go to the Upasamhara, the final verse, which is 1866. Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Saranam Gaja. Aham Tam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshasyami Masucha. So here Krishna says, Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Saranam Gaja. Aham Tam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshasyami Masucha. What again he's saying? Do not fear, do not lament. Repeating what he said in the beginning, do not lament. In the end, again he's saying, do not lament. Of course, he's saying, do not fear, but lamentation also comes when you fear, right? And by now, the solution is already given. What is the solution? Everything parityaja, all the dharma that I have taught you, you can forget about it and take to the Mamekam Saranam, the highest dharma, which is Sharanam. Surrender unto me. If you surrender unto me, I will free you from fear. Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo. Do not need to worry about your sinful actions. No need to worry about your karma now. Everything is given by me. So you see, the conclusion of the Gita is not that go and fight. So the conclusion of Varnashram Dharma is not just be a Kshatriya, is be a Kshatriya devotee. Understand? By these 2 analyses, we can see, don't lament. Solution, be my devotee. Then you may ask the question, then why so many yogas Krishna is giving? In all the way he's giving this yoga, karma yoga, jnana yoga, sankhya yoga, right? So many verses also he's giving on that. Why he's giving all this? Why? Because he wants to give you a gradation. To tell something which is, this is the best, I have to give a comparison. These are all there. These steps are there. But these steps will not give you the ultimate happiness. The real happiness comes when you surrender to me only. Understand? So that's why Krishna is saying like that. And Krishna is saying, also if you go to this verse, 1859, to Arjuna, yad ahankaram asritya na yotya iti manyase mityaishe vyavasyaste prakritistvam niyokshati. If you do not act according to my direction and do not fight, then you will be falsely directed. By your nature, you will have to engage in warfare. Krishna is saying, you cannot avoid your karma. Now you feel emotional, temporary emotion has come over you that you say you don't want to fight. You'll go to the forest. But in the forest, what you will do? You cannot be a sadhu in the forest. Your nature, your original nature, your guna and karma will come. And you will start killing you'll do hunting there now. Right? How you will escape your karma. Then if you see the next verse, Swabhava jane kaunteya nibadaha svane karmaha kartum nechyasi yanmohad karishyasi avasopi tat. Under the illusion, you are now declining to act according to my direction, but compelled by the work born of your nature. See, the work born of your nature, your guna and karma, your Varnashrama, your dharma. You will act all the same, O son of Kunti. Right? Krishna is saying you cannot escape this. Right? For Kshatriya, if you go and see this verse, if you see this verse, Kshatriyanam ayam dharma, Prajapati vinirmita, Pratapti Bharataram hanyat, yena goratamas tata. So turning to Rukmini, Balaram continued, the code of sacred duty for the warriors established by Lord Brahma enjoins that one may have to kill even his own brother. That is indeed the most dreadful law. Kshatriya, even if the brother is going to fight, he has to kill, he has to fight. That's what happened in the Kurukshetra. All brothers, right? All cousins. They had to fight. But fight under whose order? Under the orders of Krishna. So that is the real benefit, the real result. We were seeing the verse Upakrama, Upasamhara. Then the sixth thing. What is the result of following your dharma, in service of the Lord? You will be free of karma. Masucha. Sarva dharman parityaj. And also to prove the point that this is the highest message of the Gita, we can start seeing this verse also. If you go to 64, okay? 1864 in the purport, I think, yeah. Or is it not? Okay, 1864. Sarva guyatama bhuya shrinu me paramam vachaha istosti me dhridam iti tato vyakshami te hitam. So Krishna is saying, I'm going to give you the secret. Arjuna, what is the secret? Right? This is the paramam vacha. This is the highest paramam, right? Hitam means benefit. So he says, because you're my dear friend, I'm speaking to you the most confidential part of knowledge. Hear this from me, for it is for your benefit. So Krishna is, after saying this, he is saying Sarva Dharman, right? That means Sarva Dharman is the highest. After this, he first says, Manmana Bhava Mad Bhakta, you become my devotee. What you should do? Be my devotee. Bow down to me. Offer everything to me. Then after that, he says, surrender unto me. So this verse, 1865-66, comes after this verse, where he qualifies, I'm going to give you now the highest. And you see here, you see the purport. Lord has given Arjuna confidential knowledge of the super soul within everyone's heart. Now he's giving the most confidential part of this knowledge. Just surrender unto me. So the first thing Krishna gave, you go to 1861, gives knowledge of the super soul. Right? 1861, 62. We'll go to the verse. Ishvara sarvabhutanam riddeshu arjuna tishtati brahmane brahmayan sarvabhutani yantra rudrani mayaya. So this verse talks about the Paramatma, super soul. Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wandering of all living entities who are seated on the machine made of material energy. This talks about super soul. Right? This is a very confidential knowledge. Then he goes to 62. Ocean of Bharata, surrender unto him utterly. So first he says, you surrender unto the super soul. Surrender unto him utterly. By his grace, you'll attain transcendental peace and supreme eternal abode. So he says, you surrender unto the Paramatma, who is within your heart. Correct? Then he goes and says, in the next verse, yeah. Yeah. So he's talking about Paramatma. Because Bhagavan realization is higher than Paramatma. So itite jnanam akyayam guyataram maya vimrishetyat aseshena yatechasi tata kuru. So he says, thus I've explained to you knowledge which is still more confidential. So he's given very confidential knowledge. Surrender unto the Paramatma. Now you deliberate what to do. Then after he comes to 64. So again we come back to 64. Where he says, now I'm going to give you something even higher. What is the higher thing? So he said the Lord has given Arjuna knowledge of the confidential knowledge of Brahman. Already Brahman was given, right? In the, what is it? Brahman Buddha Parsanatma, 1854. Krishna talked about Brahman. Given knowledge of Brahman already. Then he came to knowledge of Paramatma, 1861. Then he said, you worship Paramatma. Then he said, now I'm going to give you more. So he says, still more confidential knowledge of the super soul everyone had. And now he's giving most confidential part. Guya Tama. Right? Is it like that? Purna, Purna Tara, Purna Tama. Yes. Tama and Tara. Superlative. Tama means Uttama is the highest. Below that is Tara. Guya Tara. Then Guya. Guya is normal. Guya is very good. I mean, the secret I'm giving you. Good, better, best. So now Krishna is saying, now I will give you the most confidential knowledge. Just surrender onto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So manmana. Then he goes to the verse manmana bhava mad bhakto mad jajimam namaskuru mam eva satyamte pratijane priyosime. Always think of me, become my devotee, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are very my dear friend. So this is considered topmost knowledge because Krishna is now saying, give up. When he says give up everything, you even give up the worship of any other form of the Lord, even Narayana form. That is why in the purport of this verse, Prabhupada is saying, is it this verse or next one? This one. Prabhupada is saying no other form but Krishna. Because that Krishna form is the highest form where Arjuna can experience the greatest relationship as a friend. He cannot enjoy friendship with Narayana. Right? So when he says parityajas, sarva, all dharma give up. It's not only normal, even if you give up your dharma of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra and become a devotee, completely surrendered, that is also accepted. That is the highest. But it's very confidential. It's for people who are very confidentially connected with Krishna. If you don't have that confidentiality, you will still have to commit. You have to still do your you still have to do your nitya karmas. You know, they call it nitya karmas, naimantika karmas. But for a pure devotee, he can give up completely because he's completely attached to the Lord. You know what is somebody like Ishwar Puri. Evam Vritaswa Priyanama Kirte Jatanuraga Jatatitta Uchai Hasti Yato Rodati Rauti Gayati Unmadavan Nrityati Lokabaya. You see this verse and what is that verse? 11. I forgot where is it lah. 11 to 40. Evam Vritaswa Priyanama Kirte Jatanuraga Drutachitta Uchai. So if you take the Lord's name, holy name, Nama Kirtaya, this is spoken, you know, by who? Is it Maharaj Nimi? Ishwara Puri quoted this same verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita when he told to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what is the essence of Bhagavatam? Of course, the essence of Bhagavatam is Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam, Jiva Goswami's essence. But Ishwara Puri had a different idea of what is the essence. He quoted this verse. What is this verse? He says, when you ayam vritasva priya nama kirta, with love, you chant the holy name of the Lord. Jatanuraga drita chitta uchai. You know, with deep attachment, anuraga, right? Drita chitta uchai, your heart will melt when you chant the holy name of the Lord. Only a pure devotee in prema can chant like that. We are not chanting like that. We are chanting, looking at the phone. Our heart is not melting. You know, our phone battery only melting. Right? So that is our chanting. It's like a chore. But for the pure devotee, when he chants, his heart melts. Hasti, he starts to smile. Ato roditi rauti gayati. He starts to sing. His hair is standing. He becomes like rauti, roditi rauti gayati. He becomes mad. Unmadavan nrityati lokabaya. And like this, he will dance like a madman. And he'll make everyone in the world. He doesn't care. Lokabhaya. He doesn't care about the opinions of anyone. Of his transcendental madness. He doesn't care. This is pure devotee. This devotee is not affected by, it doesn't matter if he follows Varnāśrama. You see the translation? By chanting the holy name of the Supreme Lord, one comes to the stage of love of Godhead. Then the devotee is fixed in his vow as an eternal servant of the Lord, and he gradually becomes very much attached to the particular name or form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As his heart melts with ecstatic love, he laughs very loudly or cries or shouts. Sometimes he sings and dances like a madman, for he is indifferent to public opinion. So this verse Again, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard from his guru the essence of the Bhagavatam. It's there in the Adi 7 something. Yeah, Nama leads to the Prema. So then such a devotee, if he doesn't do his Varnāśrama duty and all, it doesn't affect him. Because he's completely melted in love, complete Prema, right? But for all of us, we still have to do our duty in the Varnashram Dharma. We are all sadhakas, we are doing sadhana bhakti. So we have to do our sadhana bhakti properly, meticulously. Then the Lord will be pleased by the actions. Then like that we can come out of this cycle of birth and death. So I think, yeah, that's all the points I want to make. I'll conclude here. Unless you can find for me that verse where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this from his guru. Seven? 7.94. Yeah. So in the previous verse, you see, he's saying, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is talking to the Mayavadi sannyasis. Eta bhali eka shloke shikaila more bhagavate sara e bhala vare vare. Saying this, my spiritual master taught me a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. It is the essence of all Bhagavatam instructions. Therefore, he recited this verse again and again. Yeah? So Ishwarapuri is reciting again and again. Evam vritasva priyanama kirtai jatanuraga datachitta uchchai hasti ato roditi drauti gayati unmadhavan nityati lokabaya. So when a person actually advances and takes pleasure in chanting the holy name of the Lord, he who is very dear to him, is agitated. He loudly chants the holy name. He also loves, cries, becomes agitated, chants like just like a madman, not caring for outsiders. This is a pure devotee who is not bounded by the laws of the Varna and Ashrama. Apurvata Palam. Is Anucheda 105 in Paramatma Sandarbha.
Reference to Bhagavad Gita. That is for Bhakti Upsanhara from you. What are the examples?
I don't have to. I don't. Of course, many places he's repeating, be a yogi, be a devotee. See, you must understand one thing in the Gita. Many places he's telling you be Vijnani, and I'm happy. After that, he'll say this is better. This is better. He's always giving a gradation, right? You understand the difference between the Bhakta and all the Jnanis or the Karma Yogis or the Hatha Yogis. Right? The difference is when Krishna speaks to them and he says, "Yeah, you do this, I'm happy." He says, "I'm happy." But what makes Krishna happy? That the Bhakta wants to know. You understand? Everybody is saying, "Okay, I'm doing Jnana, Krishna is happy. I'm doing Astanga Yoga, he's happy." But they don't ask the question, what makes Krishna really happy? What is really in his heart that makes him happy? And then comes Bhakti. Because Bhakti is done for the pleasure of the Lord. Whereas these Jnanis and all, they're doing for the pleasure of their own self. They want to come out of material miseries. They want to go to the Brahma Jyoti. They want to enjoy oneness. Right? But Bhakta, he doesn't want that. He doesn't mind staying in this material world. For example, let me take out this verse. In Padyavali, again, spoken by Sri Ishwarapuri. Let me. Yeah, that's a nice verse. Padyavali. Okay, how do I go to Padyavali? It's verse 18. Space 18. So Yoga Shruti Upapatti Nirjanavana. I don't know what's the tune, but yeah, Vasambhavita. So this is a verse spoken by Kadamba Kunja Kuhara Promilat Indivara Shreni Samyad Dama Nama Justam Janmushta Lakshavati. So this is a verse spoken by same person, Shri Ishwarapuri, the Guru of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He says, let the twice born enter the fearless kingdom of yoga. So let these people go and do yoga, Vedic study, solitary meditation in the forest. Let them do all these things, the Jnanis, the yogis. Let them become liberated in that way. So they want to be liberated, no? They're coming to doing all this to get liberated only. As for us, we will spend hundreds and thousands of births chanting the holy name of Lord Krishna. Mama Janmani Janmaneshwari, Avatar Bhakti Rai Tukitoy, whose splendid dark complexion and yellow garments are like a host of blue lotus flowers blooming in the grove of the yellow flower bearing the Kadamba tree. So he's not bothered of liberation, not bothered of going back. He just wants to chant the holy name of the Lord and spend hundreds and thousands of births. Listen. So the happiness he's getting, even in the material world, is more than people who are merging into Brahman also. That's the pure devotees. The happiness is deriving. So that's why he was telling that verse. That's why he chose that verse as the essence of Bhagavatam. He's so much attached to the chanting of the holy name of the Lord and glorifying the Lord and chanting for the pleasure of the Lord. Whereas the Jnanis, the yogis, they are doing something to derive something from the Lord. The devotee is chanting not to derive anything, to give pleasure and glorification to the Lord. So, okay, I'll stop here then. Any questions, comments?
Prabhupada wanted to establish by establishing Varnāśrama Brahmavidas of 4 Varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. How do we understand that? Because even the Krishna conscious society, I think once they get into sequence, here we are contribution of domination. Then, does it mean that Prabhupada wanted the Krishna conscious society to manage the acceptable? They take Brahmans, but not Kshatriyas, Vaishyas.
Yeah, because ultimately to manage society, you need this Varnashram system. Everybody cannot be like Ishwarapuri and become, chanting and dancing like a madman. So this is very important system because it helps people to do their duty, like I said, and come to the, like Prabhupada said, in the village, what happens? In village, there's different kind of people with different occupation. But what we do, at the end of the day, we all come together in the middle of the village and we discuss Mahabharata, Ramayana, Srimad Bhagavatam every night. Idea is to connect to Krishna. So Prabhupada's Varnashram system is not the material Varnashram system. It's the Devi Varnashram system, where Krishna is the center. So we need this system definitely, but it's a long way to get there. But at least right now, our main mission is to get everyone to get the books, read the books, chant. Yes.
But this Varnāśrama, we people always stress 2 points. So one is birth is not at all considerable. Only when they get initiated or when their guna is there, fine. But there is, even in our Gaudiya section itself, at Jiva Goswami time and even just before the time of Bhakti-danda, they never allowed the born Brahmins who became devotees, they allowed them only for deity worship, all these things, but not the other way. And even when I was quoting 10, 11, 33 or 35, that one STL Lakshanam Prabhupada.
Yeah.
So in that, when I was doing the Prabhupada purport, so they were showing Malya Vidyabhushan and Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur's purport, saying that we should consider them as equal as Brahmana, but not these Brahmana. Like this and it is mentioned. So, what? Of course, for us, Acharya, our Acharya is Brahman. Why like this, even in our Gaudiya Vaishnava?
But in our Prabhupada society is not like this, right?
Vishnu Chakravarti and all.
Yeah, but see, coming to time, place, and circumstance, Prabhupada also adjusted the rules, If a born Brahmin is there and he is qualified, then what's wrong with that? For example, now we want to do Varnashrama, correct? Now I took initiation, I became Brahmana. After 2 years, I fell down. Is there a Brahmana decommission ceremony? No. It's like we also treating it like Brahmana is, I'm already Brahmana, I will do whatever. So it's not easy. Actually, Varnashrama is not easy to manage because you firstly have a problem with this born Brahmana thing, and then you also have people who became Brahmana and they fall down. Then how are you gonna? You understand? So I feel the real essence is, many places Prabhupada say we should do Varnashrama and all, but even if we don't, we try our best to make everyone devotee. That is more, we try our best, no doubt. Yeah. Like let's say you have a place like Mayapur, they have a huge land, so many devotees living within 3,000 people. So there they can do easily the Varnashram. Somebody has inclination to do this duty, they do. But like you're saying to the world, how to do it, and it's difficult.
So some devotees are to the administration, some devotees are.
Yeah, that is naturally happening. Who is good in what they are doing that. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see Vrajakishore Prabhu. He initiated Brahmana, dedicated full-time devotee. He came here and he cleaned up the entire temple. Right? You understand? So he has a very natural inclination to keep cleanliness, his Brahmanical quality. But many of us, we think we don't want to clean because we feel it's like a Shudra thing. But he didn't. He has a humility to just clean up the whole place, right? Now we have a clean 5th floor, 4th floor, right? So natural tendency. Could you stop him from cleaning? No, right? Somehow or other in the society, whatever the person's natural, the guru's duty is that. The guru's duty, the president's duty, to see what is the natural tendency of the person and encourage him in that field. Then he will be very enthused to do that department.
At the same time, we should become all-rounder also.
No, that is fine. We should be all-rounder, but you will also have your prime tendency, prime good duty you're doing, right? If let's say I'm a horrible cook, you put me as a in charge of catering, what will happen? Huh?
All-rounder.
What will happen? The food will mess up, no? Yeah. So for me, I personally feel the Varnashram system is important, but I don't know how it's going to. We can't really force it in the Kali Yuga the way it's going.
Actually, the real dāsas of the Brahmana. So the administration is going on back in lecture. Some vice taking is going on. This place, doctors are not going on. Agriculture is good.
Monsanto.
Gujarat is full of sugar. So if the guidance is there first, so then society can be structured.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is for the whole world. But what we have Varnāśrama and farm communities are just like
Small things.
five products of the real societal change. Eventually, when the movement becomes bigger and bigger, then we have Prabhupada even spoke of taking over, governments taking over.
Yeah, so I guess we are in the Krishna conscious, we are in the phase now to develop Brahmanas first. Eventually, as the generation goes on, when there are so much more Brahmanas, we should have the power to influence the politician. Just like how Jiva Goswami was influencing even Akbar. Akbar came and gave word that nobody will attack Vrindavan. He built structures and all these things also. The king, the Jaipur king, he was under the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Baladev Vidyabhushan. So that kind of power is needed. So right now we are at a phase where this generation we have to increase the amount of, like what Prabhu says, Tatvidu says, the Brahmana community. And also one of the morning walk conversation I heard also, there was Gurukul. So they are training everybody to be Brahmana. Then the teachers came and complained to Prabhupada, there are these few boys who always want to study, they are making noise, they are messing up, making nuisance. Prabhupada said, you cannot, he doesn't have the tendency of Brahmana, he cannot be Brahmana. So most likely he may have Sudra tendency. So let him do things related to that. From young age already you can sort of see also, sometimes. So I remember this morning walk. I didn't save it, but I remember Prabhupada saying you cannot make him Brahmana because he doesn't have the nature to be Brahmana.
One of the Bhakti-varsha comes and becomes initiated here, then how we can usually as Brahmana. And he says, no, if they want to do some work here as Shudra, let them do, but he's like,
Yeah, so everyone is Vaishnava. We may be doing a Sudra job, but everyone is doing Bhakti Yoga Vaishnava. That should be seen. There should not be discrimination like what happened. I am Brahman, I am head, you are feet. The head and the feet is the same part of the Lord only. In fact, the feet more glorious than the head also, right? Sometimes we say lotus feet, right? So there is a Vaishnava will not discriminate. Okay. Yeah, become devotees. That is the basis. Yeah. If you came as a good cook and not being a devotee, then you will cook many other things also. True. Yeah. That's true. Being a devotee is the first priority.
Another thing is that although the 1866 is the substantial message of Bhagavad-Gita, to see the higher perspective where the conversation we can have
Yeah.
the back of the beloved.
Yeah.
So they rejected all the
Varnashrama.
Varnāśrama rejected. Even 1866 is rejected. Yes, so look here, rejected. Even Brahma-Gupta Krishna.
Ramananda Rai's conversation. That's the highest level of.
You could progress across the highest
Yeah.
but in order to
Step by step.
population where they will reach there. So they have to manage the society. And that comes
Yeah.
so it has to be not primary official but they wanted.
Yeah.
Very hard to govern.
Actually, Bhakti Saraswati Thakur is the first person to make Gaudiya Vaishnavism in a very organizational way. Before that, it was just devotees, many pure devotees, they're just doing that. So he really made many things institutionalized. So, of course, there are also pros and cons, but this is needed for the future.
We made it from one Brahmana to be said. Like you said.
Purification. Even both Brahma.
We started
Yeah. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the end he says, no, Naham Varne Nachanarapati, Napi Vaisho na Sudro. Naham what? Naham Varne. Naham Vipro Nachanarapati. Naham Varne Nachanagrihapati. Yadirva. Hintu Protyan Nikila Parama Purnamrita Apte. Gopi Bharto Padakamalayo dāsa Anudas. I'm not a Vaishnava, I'm not Brahmana, I'm not sannyasi. I am the servant of the seven, the Lord of the gopis. So he's giving credit to the gopis, the highest devotees. His aspiration is to be the servant of the supreme gopi Radharani. Okay, so we'll stop here. No, just Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.